Yeah.
Mine's clear, yours is yellow. Oh.
Yeah, it's fucking wee-wees. Yeah. Hello.
Yeah. Yeah, you can't. What it does, what is good, what is poppin', what is happening, everybody? My name is Big Uncle Grandpa C.
And my name is Young Buck Pee-wee No Diggity Doglet.
Welcome to episode 67 of Bad Habits of Podcast. We are in the building.
Give it up for your damn self.
How you
I'm good,
doing?
mate. How are you?
Chilling. Now, people who are watching, they might notice that we're missing a human being this evening. Uncle
Missing a
Dan.
beautiful soul.
Yes, how are we gonna? What's a good noise for this? I got one. I don't have that. Would be perfect. I don't have that.
Does it say cunt in it?
Yes. Oh no. Let's see.
What fucking know you cunt?
Yeah, it does say cunt. There you go.
Yeah.
So
perfect.
we don't know Dan. So Dan is on the way. He's heading back to the UK for a few weeks for a bit of a vacay. See his family. He hasn't been back.
Lucky man.
Since I know, right? So he's been in Canada now 15 months almost. So he's heading back. He's in Toronto now for a couple of days. But he just got there. It wouldn't really work out for him to do this tonight. So we're like, you know what? We'll just take care of this. And we're giving him... I don't want to
hold down the fort.
Exactly. We're going to hold it down without him. It's the first one without him for a while, probably. Didn't he go to Italy like last August or some shit? And
He was away for one episode, 2 episodes?
I think it was 2 when he was away, and then he came back and had to quarantine, but I think he was able to join remotely. I can't even remember.
Dial in.
Yeah. So either way, I
was
told
a
him
long time ago.
it was like a year ago. So obviously it's great. We love Dan here. Dan's energy is fantastic, but we didn't want to put any pressure on him. I was like, look, if you can find the time when you're in the UK for the next few like Sundays or whatever to record, even if it's Mondays, and even if you want to bring some of your boys or some shit, like that'd be fun. But no pressure, because I'm sure he's going to be in height. I was talking to him about it. I was like, you haven't been home yet since you've lived away. And for anyone who's listening or watching who has lived away from their hometown and been away for a significant period of time and then come home, it's like a whole thing. When you first come home, particularly
Everybody wants your attention and your time.
Everyone's pulling you in different directions.
Yeah, that's it.
You know the vibe. So like I told him, I said, you're going to be like really intensely like everyone wants a piece of you. No pause. So I was like, just soak it up, do your thing, don't sweat it. If you can, I'd love it. But if not, bro, like don't even worry. Enjoy your thing. So just so y'all know, Dan hopefully will be with us. Maybe it might be spotty for the next little bit.
A little spotty.
So shouts to Uncle Daniel. So
Uncle Daniel.
Nosh, is there anything we want to chat about before we get into? I guess we're only going to do some of the segments tonight because usually they're to do with Dan.
That's true. We can just. I got a bunch of shit topics to talk. So.
Okay. Do you want to do music first, maybe, like we sort of normally would? We usually have these. Let me see if there's any other topics that we. You know how we have the new segments. I guess we don't really
slang
have.
Thing.
Yeah,
we can do slang, but like
that's no fun. I mean, could we do?
It's
slang?
no fun with that, Dan, because like we can do slang, but like maybe it's something that. Okay, this will be like expert level because it's just you and I, so we're gonna have to. I'm gonna have to think of. You know what I mean?
Yes, I know exactly what you mean.
I'm gonna have to do.
Okay.
It might even border on English, but like it'll be Aussie slang, but it might. I don't know. Let me think of something.
Okay, so maybe we could do expert level Aussie slang.
Oh, I just had some funny stuff. Yo,
right.
I got a funny ass video. I might need to mute my microphone. I can do that so I can actually find the slang term because there's a video that I got sent.
You should have a mute button. Yeah.
I do. All right, let me do that right now. So you have a quick banter and I'll listen to it.
Okay, you listen to the slang. So if I'm trying to give some Aussie slang, obviously we are both ridiculous idiots and we know all of the same stuff, but there's got to be something that would be funny as fuck that that we could try and put in. You got a good one?
Yeah.
Run it.
Okay, go straight into it.
You go straight into yours because I haven't got one yet. I was just kind of talking it out.
Dingers.
That means a different thing over here. Shouts to Scuddy.
Shout to our baseball, softball enthusiast homies.
You want to tell everyone what that means?
So dingers in Australia is a condom or a condom. And, dingers I guess you could even like sub-level slang it. We can go franger.
Franger.
Right?
I love franger. I didn't even know where
See,
that came from. It makes no sense.
Dude, I didn't even know. No sense at all. Maybe because they don't use them in Frankston.
And that's why there's so many
I don't
kids.
know.
This is getting too deep for everyone out here.
Fucking
Unless
hell.
only the Aussies will appreciate it. Okay, dingers, I'm going to use it. For you,
Dingers.
on the same thing, because when I was thinking Franger, I thought, well, maybe you go that. I should say Franger. But I could say to you, speaking in lieu of Franger, how about Scab Durry?
Oh, fantastic cunt. Wow.
So
oh, my God.
Scab means to...
And that's one word, isn't it?
Well, yeah, I guess it could be. So a Durry is a cigarette. Scab is like to bum, like kind of bum the smoke. Like basically I used to fuck, when I smoked, I fucking hated it when cunts did that, bro. Do you know what I said to him?
It down.
Unfucking believable.
That's what I said to him, mate. That's what I said to him. So,
oh my God, that's ridiculous, dude. Fantastic.
All right, so we'll try and get that in there today.
I wouldn't have guessed that one in a million years.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty random, and I feel like we haven't really discussed that here. So, all right, we'll see if we can try and slide that into the next hour.
Okay.
With that said, let's just do the music. There's a pretty reasonable. I got through most of it. There's been a lot of albums lately, and I haven't been able to get to all of them. I haven't even caught up from like the last few weeks from the ones on this, to be honest. I've been meaning to, but
yeah.
Do you want to?
It's hard some weeks.
Yeah,
I'm gonna set it off.
Yeah,
it's cunty. Like this round of albums was like full soft, snooze town. You know, cry into your pillow. You know, tears as lube, kind of like soft.
I know the vibe.
So I was like, all right, cool. But you know, nothing like super notable. Carl Dion, obviously fire, had that album called Sassy. I skipped through that. I wasn't really in the mood, to be honest.
What kind of vibe is it? Because I didn't check it.
Just smooth and sexy.
So he's
kind of
like
poppy.
It's like poppy R&B type of shit.
Yeah,
he's not a rapper.
With some funky. Yeah, no, he's a singer. You know who told me about him? Neek.
Oh yeah,
our homie Neek.
Should get him on.
Yeah, shout out to Neek. So yeah, we should actually. He's you know,
he's a G.
When he was living in Toronto before he went back to home and got stuck and shit. He asked me to come to the Carl Dion concert, and I was like, I had some shit on. I couldn't move. So I didn't go, and he told me, I saw his, you know, IG stories, and it was fire, dude. Cunt's playing guitar, and there's a full band. It's proper. So yeah, he's got some vibes for sure. Super underground when he asked me to go to the show, and then he got a few singles and a bit of momentum or whatever you call it, and he is fire. So he's really established now.
Cool. All right, I'll check.
So that's that. Singles: The Eternia, McCoy, Mr. Liff, The Story of Us. That's classic, absolute classic. It sounded like it was from the 90s. It was the beats kind of Tribe Called Questy. It sounded like Q-Tip made it. So Rel is just, you know, the god behind the boards on that one. That was really cool. Quality as usual from those kids. The Santino the Saint, Love, Drugs, and Anarchy. That was really dope and clean. That was a great song. I definitely want to go back to that and revisit that one. The Russ, When This Was All New, that was a soft song. That was just absolute thumbs down. That's one of his like absolute misses. That was just so out of pocket, not even close to his branding. The beat was just absolute. Everything about that was soft, borderline trash, but it's not trash. You know what I mean? It's just like no, that was a complete miss. But I was expecting something to be good because the last two were absolute fire from him. So spewing about that, the H.E.R, Lil Durk, and Lil Baby Find a Way. I mean, I adore H.E.R. Everything about her is fire, and everything she does is fire. I don't love it when they put auto-tune on her, or when she swears or uses buzzwords in her lyrics. It's so corny. Obviously, Lil Baby wrote that whole fucking song, and it just like I don't like it. I really tried to enjoy it.
Was that? Yeah. I was a little tripped out. So I go I think I've said this before. I essentially go by. I get these lists from my Spotify release radar, so I always make sure I follow artists I like, so I get them fed in my release radar. And I check Hip Hop by the Numbers. Definitely go follow him. It's at Hip Hop Numbers on Twitter. Yeah. He makes this graphic every week that has all the stuff. So essentially, I go through and I cross-reference. I do my Spotify release radar first, then I go there, see if I missed anything. With that one, I've heard it before though. Was it on her album? It was on her album, right? I just feel like it was because I felt the same. This is one of the reasons I didn't.
I remember the hook for sure.
So
because obviously she was on it.
okay, so unless it was a remix where maybe she added one of them or something, but like
Yeah.
I thought it was a bit weird because some strange things are popping in this release radar every week. So I don't know what's going on. Anyway, I just wanted to put that out there. I thought it might have been from.
Yeah, it was out of place. Yeah.
Okay.
That was a weird one.
Okay.
The what else was good? The G-Eazy Demi Lovato song Breakdown. It was a good track, but it was really sad. It was well done, but just kind of like depressing track about them just going through their things. Video was really cool though, big production value, and Demi Lovato is pretty dope. I don't know a huge amount about her, but isn't she from some legendary band or something?
No, I think she was just a pop star. I think she might
Okay.
have got on through like American Idol or something like that. But she.
Oh, I
she
see.
re- she's
Okay, so I'm
been
thinking of somebody else.
Addiction, and she's a they now. I think.
Oh, interesting. Okay, well,
Yeah.
they smashed it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm not really good. I'm shocking with that shit. My bad, everybody. So
Stay with
fucking. What else have I got here? John Bellion and Burna Boy. I feel it. That was a funky bass tune, pretty poppy, feel good reggae. I like that one. That was good in the sunshine. The Kehlani Altar. That was just dope poppy stuff from her. JuneLyfe and SkyZoo did a song called Grateful. That was dope. Really would have loved to mix that. Didn't sound finished. It was pretty annoying to listen to, but SkyZoo's always super quality. So shout out to SkyZoo. The Mac Miller Colors and Shapes. Weird.
Look at that. Yeah. Okay.
So it's a weird song and even weirder video. Did you see the video?
No, I did
usually
not.
You don't check those. Okay. Because I listen to everything on YouTube mainly. It's basically a CGI, really high quality CGI video of this fucking dog going through all this random shit. It doesn't make real much sense. It was really weird, bro. So anyway, I am not a fan of the posthumous releases because I swear Mac Miller wouldn't have signed off on that beat, bro. That was not like hitting in any way. It didn't sound like anything that he would have made. So it was kind of disappointing. So I was looking forward to that because I don't know, Mac Miller's kind of sick cunt. So anyway, the Rock Abraham and SkyZoo and Stove God Cooks song called Cold. That was really dope. I love that. That's probably my hip hop song of the week there. That was really hip hop as well. Rock's got some fucking bars on that one. The way SkyZoo comes in, I just love that. It was mixed proper too, so that was a great listen. And then what else was cool? The Tems and Brent Fayez Found. That's just smooth. Love that. That's pretty much all I'm going to say. That's it.
Right.
Done. That's a lot, but sorry.
No, it's because we without.
There's no diddly Dan, so
yeah, we're gonna
like a
hold it
ramble.
down. No, you did, Matt. This is good. I actually had some other ones to talk about, so it's kind of balanced. From the albums, I only got to check like 3. I sort of was just a little bit slow this week, but the Jordan Rakei, What We Call Life, fucking fire. The last one you did, yeah, go on.
Tell me about that. I skipped through a few songs. I wasn't in the mood. It was a bit slow. What's the deal?
So he did an album, I don't know if you remember, say like 2 months ago, and it was fucking weird, bro. He has a voice, this guy, it's incredible. I believe he's Australian. I don't think he's from Melbourne, I'm not sure. But the last album was just weird as fuck. You should. He does really, I don't know if he's a producer, but he absolutely should. I didn't feel the last one at all, and he's been dropping a bunch of singles, and we talked about some of the songs from this one recently. So this, I think, was brilliant. It was only like 10, maybe 11 songs, so it was a little more concise. The last one was like 20 or something like that, and they were just strange. This was like, he gives me James Blake vibes, but more soulful, like a soulful James Blake, if that's a good way. Because it's a little weird and abstract in the way that James Blake is. So yes, it's slow. Like there was a song called Clouds, which was a single a few weeks ago that we talked about. And that song, when I was listening to the project, really stood out. I really enjoyed this one. So it's kind of like, yes, it's slow, but it's kind of like, put it on if you're doing, like you got a bunch of emails to send, or like you do it, or like you said, you always talk about clean. Dishes. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I love a good kitchen clean-up music, Perfect. I think this is cool. This is also good fucking music. I think you're right, too. So I just really enjoyed this one. It was just soulful. It was like, it's a shit I really enjoyed.
Love a good smash album,
Fuck yes. You need to keep them on deck. You got to keep the rotation strong.
Yep.
Speaking of smash albums, I actually wrote the Tems song down, not realizing that Tems had a project. It was only like a 5-song EP called If Orange Was a Place. It's fucking
Ooh.
fantastic. So Tems is, I believe she's from, actually, please don't get mad if I got it wrong. It's Nigeria or Ghana, and she was on the Essence song with Wizkid, which is the big one that they did Bieber with the remix for. So
nice.
I didn't know much about her. I kind of thought she was a dude based on her voice on the actual song, if I'm really honest. But this project, fire. The Brent Fire song is probably the best one. It gave me like goosebumps. It was that good.
That was
and
a
the rest
goosey, yeah.
was fucking crazy. And there was 4 other just really fantastic songs, straight fucking joints. But she has a fantastic voice, really great melodies, fantastic production across the board, like tight. I'm looking forward to following what else she's doing after hearing.
Crazy.
It. Very impressed.
Solid review.
Yeah, thank you. I really, really fuck with this one.
Sold
this
me.
Great. The only other one I listened to, I don't know, in hindsight, looking at this list, I don't know why I chose this, but I listened to the Lil Nas X Montero album, mostly out of...
I honestly think that I'm looking forward to hearing that.
Okay, it was super interesting. He is a pop artist, right? So you approach it from a pop perspective.
And he's into all the shock stuff now, and I think he's just got it down pat. He's got a fire team behind him, whatever he's doing.
Yep, definitely grabbing all the attention.
I heard the song with Doja Cat on it. That's the only thing I heard so far.
Yes, so that one was on there. That's pretty chill. If you like her, she was funny on there as well. They had the joint with Industry Baby with Jack Harlow, which I like a lot.
Nice.
They had the one with the devil, the Call Me By Your Name, which was the one where he's twerking on the devil. The fuck everyone got mad at him. What else did he do? So there's a song with Elton John on there, which he didn't seem to have like a verse or anything, but he might have just done backups or some shit, or played the keys or something like that.
Just sampled him.
Yeah, or could have done that too, and then made it a feature. They actually do that. Good point. So overall, like, it's not for me, but I wanted to listen to it because I'd be curious to see where this kid has gone. Like you were saying, with the marketing and sort of...
Yeah, I want to hear the mixing of it too, because like he's got money for everything, and it's like the best cunts are on his shit. So I honestly just want to hear it sonically, like put it on the big dogs and have a good time.
Do you know what's interesting about that? When Jonathan Emile, shouts to Johnny, were doing his album, The Spaces in Between, the label that he was working with they wanted the engineers from Old Town Road to mix his shit because he wanted that level of
amazing
popping. So
yeah, I saw articles with those guys on like the Pro Audio Files and a bunch of other nerdy sites that I love. So
who are they? Who does it? Who does that shit?
I'll have to find the names. I have no idea.
Okay, so it was cool. All right. Well, I think you'd enjoy it. I think you'd appreciate it from that side of it, and I'd just be curious to see what the fuck is happening as far as like, what sort of music he's putting out there. And it was pretty long. I want to guess like 15-ish songs. So it was a little chunky, but man, the melodies were cool. Some of them were pretty samey, and I would say it's definitely not for me, but it was well put together across the board. Some of them are like indie songs type of thing, or like some of them like with guitars and shit. So like you can't put him in a box at all. So good for him for doing that shit.
It's fire. It's a
we
guy named Andrew Beluki.
Okay.
Andrew Vox God Beluki.
Hey, is it 2 C's?
Bolooki.
Oh. All right. Well then. All right. Good for them. Vox God. That almost sounds familiar. Okay. So that was pretty cool. As far as like, I just want to shout out, we had a few homies release shit this week, so I didn't check it, but shouts to Angus Younga, who's a good mate from Melbourne, and Royalz, who's another mate who's a producer. They did an album called DFOGs, which is a very local sort of reference. There's a thing called DFO, which is direct factory outlet, which is kind of just like this where you go buy cheap shit, like outlet stores.
I love it.
So DFOGs, that's pretty funny. So they make like hip hop, boom bap type shit. So shouts to that. I'm definitely going to check for that. JOE, the homie, released the Lazy Tape, which was a longer project. He's been doing a lot of 4-track ones. This seemed to be like a 10-track album. So or it could just be like a bunch of Lucy's. So shouts to Joe.
Gotcha.
Definitely got to check for that. You already mentioned Eternia, Rel McCoy and Mr. Lift, The Story of Us. Very cool. I'm looking forward to hearing I think their album drops next week, actually.
That'd be cool.
Project.
Sick. We'll talk about that next week then, mate.
We will indeed. And obviously you mentioned Rock. Shouts to Rock with the Sky Zoo and Stove God features on that. Very cool. So, and GMC, our friend GMC, dropped a song called Baby.
I couldn't find that. How was that?
It's cool. He's doing a lot of back on the singing stuff. Like it's
hyper. So I saw the
stuff.
snippet on Instagram, the reel.
Yes.
I didn't hear the song, but I got the gist.
You got the vibes. He's doing it was like some shit I was listening to. I was like, man, I wouldn't even know what to do every beat like this. It's weird. Like,
exactly.
Super, like,
he's very creative.
Yeah,
did
man.
it well.
I'm glad because he's got a good singing voice. So I like hearing him use that. I always thought that it's great that he used that. As far as other shit I enjoyed, you mentioned a bunch of them, man. The Santino the Saint, great to hear him drop new music again. He blessed us last year, so he's coming back with that. What else was cool that I recall? Damn, I don't even know if much else here.
I didn't listen to the is it Sadice, Sir and Kirby? Crawl for You. I didn't listen to that. I just didn't click on it. Didn't search it.
I got a feeling we got catfished again on the Kirby one, I think. I don't know if it was her who I thought. Why is that? It
says it's from May.
It's shaky. Oh, it's from May? Okay. This is
from
a problem.
May.
It's like they're putting so much old shit in release radar. I think I'm going to have to be a little more... I'm going to have to double check things a bit more because it's bringing up old
very
shit.
Sneaky set.
Yeah, it's kind of pissing me off a bit. So some of it's new, and then I get down a bit in the list, and sometimes it's all spread out. Like, I don't know how... Like, I don't know why they're putting things from May in someone's release radar in fucking September. Anyway. So, pretty deep. Oh, yeah, the last thing, Kanye dropped a video for 24. That was pretty dope.
I saw that. Yeah.
That was cool. It had the start where it had the... what was the song? No Child Left Behind. Yeah, from the concert where he got pulled out, and then it went into, like, this sort of mostly animated-ish type of weird footage type of thing. It's cool. I fuck with Kanye.
It's the miracles of me.
I love that shit.
You know.
Speaking of that,
it's done miracles still. Baby Jesus, shouts.
Praise the infant Lord. I got the Yeezy slides the other day. Gang, Yeezy slides dripping.
Gang.
And I
can't say that because I'm not gang, but I mean, whatever, they're cool.
Yeezy gang. Well, you will be. And I got the what was the other one? I got the fucking. I only got one of them yesterday, so I'll get them this week. They're the foam runners. Have you seen the foam runners?
Ooh. I've seen the photo. They're kind of wild as fuck. They look super 2077.
Yeah.
They're out there. They're
like so ridiculous.
My favorite fucking Warner Brothers character. What happened?
Oh, you bleeped out for a second, but it came back, so it was okay. I was like, oh no, the mic will be gone. It's okay. I didn't. I think you said Marvin the Martian. Is that what you said?
Yeah, I did. Okay. Marvin the Martian, he's the man.
Okay. I could see him wearing these if he was drip god. A drip Martian. You know?
Here it is, bro. He's been swaggy from back in the day. What do you mean?
Big facts. You know, you're right.
Space modulator.
Now, we should get that as a sound effect. That'd be dope.
Oh, we should. I'll do a bunch of voices. I'll do it.
You should just.
I'll talk to you in. You know, we should throw on there. It's the C in back when Mario, the guy who does Mario's voice, did our drop.
He did indeed. Shouts to Dion. Thriz got that for us.
Yeah, that Thrizzy Lee got for us. Man, that was fire.
Good man. Yeah, we got a few drops. So we used to do mixtapes back in the day. For those who don't know, like before we moved here, I dropped 3 from a group. You dropped 3 solo. Then when we got here, I did 3 solo ones because I was always in group. So we were really big on mixtapes. We did them in the 2000s. We did them like proper with like we got DJs to blend them. We got big names.
Just like Weezy F Baby.
Yeah, we were really into that. We did them. I feel like we did really well. Sometimes like looking back on it.
That's so good, man.
Yeah.
I want to listen to Notion at 9th like maybe tomorrow in the sunshine. See how she slaps still. Because the 9th one, the beats don't change. I want to see how my lyrics hold up.
I think it's more.
Some of those songs are absolute firebombs.
I think for sure. I think whenever I hear our
it's like a time capsule.
It is a great time capsule. I think our old stuff is usually pretty cool. Like it's mostly.
It's definitely not shit.
No, it's like the delivery isn't as fire. I think a lot of the time, like
and the mixing isn't as fire either.
Of course, yeah, everything got better, but because we were using industry beats, they were all pretty. Like we usually did pretty well with that type of shit.
That's true. We did, yeah.
Speaking of that, people haven't checked, so we can talk about our music. Stay Woke video is still out. Obviously still out. So keep checking out. Everyone's been super supportive. All the home, it's really interesting because I spoke about this last week, the Submit Hub and all of that with the different feedback. The differing of the feedback is very like jarring even still. Like I'm only being transparent about this because I think maybe the artists who listen and watch could appreciate it. So like one of my friends, so you know Kerry, she's from Australia but she lives out here in Canada. She hit me up. She's traveling right now, but she hit me up and she was like, "Yo, I watched the video. I got goosebumps. It's fucking incredible. I don't understand why this is not bigger." Like she was losing her shit, sharing it everywhere. Telling I'm with like 2 Aussie girls and we all watched it. We're all fucking loving it. I was like, wow, that's amazing. And there was a bunch of really great comments. And then I got like some feedback today from like bloggers or playlisters and stuff. And just to clarify, when I'm talking like bloggers or playlisters, these are not major people who like work for Spotify or work for Complex.
Bedroom rappers of the blog world.
that couldn't have said it better. So you got to take any criticism with a grain of salt, and I don't get upset or anything over it. But someone was really mad about the violent references to Lil Yachty and Kodak Black. And
oh my God, relax, cunt.
And I was like, okay, you know what? I've actually said I take back the Lil Yachty thing because I was mad at him at the time, but
it's such a dated song, but they don't know that.
Well, do you know what's funny? They said it sounded like it was written. It goes that, and the title of it and those references would have flown in 2017, which is when I wrote it and recorded it. So maybe that is one downside. And once again, sharing that is one downside to maybe hanging on to music too long. I don't think it sounds dated though. They said a lot of people go, "Oh, I don't listen to like that old music." But then on I Got Next, they were like, "Oh, it sounds like it's." What did they say? They were shitting on the modernness of it. So it's almost like it doesn't matter what you do. There's going to be people trying to attack you for every single angle of it.
At least we're getting some fucking hate finally, because usually we just get all, like I said, we'll usually get thumbs up. It's nice to get a fucking fuck you every now and again.
Yeah.
So we're like, okay, cool. Pissing you off? Let's go.
Yeah, and you know what? That's dope. It's not that many, but you always remember, like, you know, you get the people who say amazing things, but then you get one or two little negative things and you hang on to those more. But it's so funny to me how the response has been, like, complete both sides of the spectrum. Like, I detest this, which literally was one. No one else like said that aside from there seems to be a bunch of individuals who, when they see the ads, they go out of their way to shit on, you know, ads for other artists and stuff. So they go on there and they'll just post some crazy shit because I have a bit of gray in my beard, and they're calling me like, they're saying like, oh, like this shit about grandpa, or did your grandma buy you that sweatshirt? It's kind of funny, but it's like,
great.
It's
keyboard warriors.
Yeah, total keyboard warriors, and I'm laughing, and I still invite them to like the page. Even the people who like I can't. I'm like, fuck it, and I think it's pretty funny. But it's like, I would just find it super interesting, the spectrum and just the way that people, you know, process new music and sort of approach. Do you really need to try and tear someone down? That's going to make you feel better, bro? Like, all right, good for you. Or, you know, on the other side of it, it's like people are just like loving it and showing the love. So it's going to be interesting coming into the next. I feel like, you know, maybe that one song has a reference. There's one other song that has a reference to like Uzi Vert on the album, which actually isn't even on until the deluxe album anyway. So like, there's nothing else I felt was
more hate later.
Plenty of time, but that probably won't be a video. Maybe it will. I don't know. So that was interesting. But yes, go check it out. The just stay woke. Song. Yeah, I'm really proud of it, man. Like, you submitted the album yesterday. We got the final masters. That definitely deserves an applause. So the third single was submitted yesterday. So that'll be coming out on October 15th. That's called Let Justice Prevail, featuring Caleb Hart, who's a mate of ours. He's a reggae singer from Tobago, and he lives in Victoria, BC. So our friend, one of our videographers, and he's he does all our cover art. He did like my logo. He does all
the heart on my sleeve
cover. He did the black one behind me on the wall. That one right there.
Does everything.
Josh is the man. Josh Telfer. He's been on the podcast actually. So he was out in BC with Caleb. Right. So he shot the video for Caleb's part. We shot it out here. Super cool. This one, I don't think people will be saying too much. It's just a dope video, dope song. A message that was written back then that unfortunately still stands, which sucks, but that's cool. And then the week after, October 22nd, is the album, so that'll be coming. I'm super excited. I just want this fucking thing out, man. I've been holding on to it for too long, and, you know, waiting for all this perfect thing to align and shit. Like, you know what? Let's just put do what we can. We have the whole team. We have an amazing team of people who were creatively involved. You know, you doing all the mixing and mastering and a lot of the editing and arranging. Maya, the producer, composer. We wrote it all together. All the features, working on it. We have some great features. We have, should I talk about
amazing features?
Maybe we'll talk about it as of later. Should we talk about it now or talk about it later?
No. Well, it's coming out October 22nd. Maybe next episode, so we can get a little.
Yeah, we're going to do that. I want to do a series of podcasts. I don't know if I
deep dive into it.
Yes, exactly. I want to do a series of podcasts with each person involved in it as well, like a relentless season.
100%.
Just a series within the thing, and I wanted to be like one with you, one with Maya, one with Josh, one with Richard, who does all the videos, even one with Jonathan Emil, who's been a big part of it as well. He's helped coordinate a bunch of things and featured and blah, 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 just to get him with it. So just a deep dive a bit 100%. More into what we're doing. So, that's moving, y'all. We got music coming.
We have to show the people, got to show the kids what we do and how we do.
Right. You're 100%, mate.
There's a lot of people that, find it interesting because, honestly, there's a lot of moving parts to this, and it's good to speak to each one.
Yeah, I think it would be enlightening, maybe for people who don't know how hectic it is to put together an album. Like, this is by far the most ambitious thing either of us have ever done. Intense, and it's almost like to the point where I'm like, oh man, like it was so much. It turns me off doing another, and also now because it took so long, and then a few only like very small comments, like literally one or two, because the whole album is varied things, so they could say anything sounds old, but like everything sounds fresh as fuck to me, and I'll be judging if it didn't sound fresh as fuck, I wouldn't put it out. So I think that people are just listening. If it's not trap, it's old. Or if it's like,
interesting,
you know what I'm saying? I feel like that's the way that, and not all of the rest of there's no more trap on it. It was only the first single. So it's going to be interesting, but I feel like, we're going to do, people have asked us to do it multiple times. Like you and me are going to do a collab album, and I'm always like nervous about it now because I'm like, I don't know, what sound do we go for? Will be criticized whichever direction you go for. And I guess that's probably just part of releasing music is people are going to have something to say, which is fine. But
everyone's expecting something else, They want their own curated album, but we've just given them that. But they're like, but they're just being cunty, mate.
I guess so. So, I mean, when we do our stuff, we'll have to... I think it's actually really good for us that we've taken this into consideration, what we learned through the process of releasing this album. I definitely would not take this long again. I think I would do it. And now that you're going to...
Next album's going to be with no stoggy beats, and we'll make sure we slap it out in a couple of months.
Yeah, we'll just do it quick, and we'll see if we could just really focus on it. Because, like, I've got... Even this, we've got the Relentless album. I got the deluxe version of that, which is already done. We'll just have to choose when we're going to release it. We have the Biotoxic City Volume 2. It was the C and D Cypher and Smokewell. So we did the first volume last year. I don't know if we'll get that out this year or not, but we got that.
There's a Notion EP as well.
There's a Notion EP. Thank you very much. So that's like 4 projects from us coming now. And then I guess we should probably start working on it soon, being that now
the Notion EP is the closest to finished, so I can just get that literally done in like a fucking week. I swear to God. All I'm going to do is probably record like one verse and make one another song, and then it's donezo.
I got
the beats figured out.
I need a feature.
Okay, so I'll fucking slip you in there somewhere, mate.
Yeah, chuck me right in, mate. No pause.
Fucking chuck you in there, mate.
But let me do that. But then I think we should get that out. I think we should just pop it out. Like what is it? 5 tracks?
Exactly. Maybe 6. I don't know. I'll have a look. But it'll be less than 8.
Okay, so I think that would be. I know this is actually kind of cool though that we're talking about this live and like actually strategizing so people can hear how it goes, right? I think you should definitely do that. We should put out a Notion project because it has been 4 years since we had Heart on My Sleeve, which was April 28th, April 2017. And if I've got all of these projects, hey, it's been a minute, but it's cool because you've been working on other people's stuff. You've been producing, you've been featuring, you've been doing a lot of work. I mean, it's not like you've been sitting there scratching your dick, bro. You've been busy.
That's true. I have not been scratching. I scratch my dick when I have like nanoseconds, but it's mostly beats.
Non-dick scratching
time.
But I think we should do that, and then once we have these off our plate, like completely finished, so we can put it out, then we can move on to our stuff and try and knock something out and keep it coming. Because I'm enjoying the process of this. Relentless has been a bit more stressful than
There's a lot to it. Some of those sessions were fucking mega.
Yeah, like for when I say stressful, for everybody, for you trying to deal with it. Mostly me and you, really, because like Maya kind of did his part, and like you took it from there and did. You guys worked on some of it together.
And you're spearheading like the whole shit, organizing all the meetings and making sure.
That's the hard part.
That's all. It is hard. Yeah, you're the abbot of the situation, and you are. Yeah.
But for your project, I'm going to do the same too. Like that's my job in our.
Well, we can both do that, but like. Yeah, obviously, yeah.
You know what I'm saying, like right?
Not fully on you for my project, but like
but
it's still hard.
It's a lot with this one because we had to wrangle a whole bunch of shit, and we were trying to get a publicist, and it didn't work out. And then we thought, all right, well, I have the cash. Let's just do some ads. We own a social media agency. I know how to do that, so we can do it that way. How much value is there in paying a publicist $3-4 a month for 3 months, and maybe or maybe not getting what you paid for it? Like, it's pretty crazy because you might get one complex article that does nothing. Like, I don't know how much value there is in all of that. So, you know, we're figuring all that as we go. This is the most, like I said, most ambitious stuff. So we'll learn a lot, and we'll be able to apply that to the other stuff. And I think the main thing now is to keep momentum. I'm noticing the monthly listeners are going up. The number of streams per month are going up. All these different things are going up in conjunction with these releases. So I think our challenge mainly, as busy people though, we have multiple projects. We're all doing a lot of different shit. We're going to keep the music coming. We have to keep doing singles.
Yeah, it's true.
We've got these projects because the projects are the ones that fucking weigh you down. So this is why the way that.
That's why I decided to do EPs, make a couple short ones. That's it.
I'm so for that. I wonder what I still want to do. Like, I think the solo one, that's the move, and I think when we do our shit, I think it still should be an album like 10 songs or something like that. But
yeah, let's do 10.
I like 10. 10's a good number because it's not too much, and we just aim for that. But otherwise, I like the short. That's why I like what Joe's been doing, a bunch of 4-packs with people. And I think
we can do a 10-song album and have like a deluxe a few months later with 3 extra tracks. Skip up.
Easy. I think that's great. And we could do, no more samples. I'm trying to avoid samples as much as possible there.
Of course.
Definitely hold you back. And now we have some possibilities with sync to, for people who don't know what that is, like synchronization. You get a song in a movie, a film, in a TV show, in a
product.
And they have to have no sample, so you have to clear the sample. Obviously, clearing the sample for us isn't financially viable. It can be expensive, and lawyers, and they could actually shut the whole song down. So that's some shit that might take 6 months. That we did.
So that's why I only buy samples that are made from sound designers that are royalty free, unless you get a major label placement. And there's like multiple sources that I'm going through to find like the fire shit, and then I play stuff on top of those. So if there is a sample, it's royalty free. Unless we get like a fucking, a crazy deal, and then we'll let Mans eat because I wouldn't have.
Well, you break them in on it, right? Yeah,
of course. Then we can like make a nice relationship with them and all fucking blah blah blah. So, if anything, it's a win. So that's why I need to make more shit with Illmind, and we can get in touch with J Master or stuff like that. We're gonna fucking do it. It's gonna be sick. Trust me.
Yeah, I love it. I'm looking forward to this project with you a lot. Actually, I think. Once we get this shit all out, like Relentless is all out, your stuff and By Toxicity and all this crap is out, I feel like we've had all this shit on our plate for so fucking long. At least Relentless it's been 6 years in the making. It was patchy the first 2 years of doing it.
Yeah.
And then we kind of crammed
most of it. Recording and getting like everything sort of locked in before I even like looked at the mix, but then it got shelved for a while because, I guess you were trying to get funding or something, and then
I was trying to get funding. That was 100%
both
whack.
just busy as fuck.
Well, it was like, if I didn't have the money, what was the point? And I didn't want to bust your ass. And I had the album with Poe, Bad Habits, or obviously the podcast is named.
That's right. And I was working on that.
You worked on that. I was like, you know what? Chill on Relentless. I don't have the money yet. Let's get this out because it doesn't need as much money. Let's just put it out. And then I did then you were working on it slowly. Then I had the By Toxic City project. So I kept putting things ahead of Relentless and not focusing on it because I just didn't have the funds. And I
so
wanted
to do it right.
Away
for that.
Chipped away real slowly. And in hindsight...
In the last, year? Did we go pretty hard on it?
Yeah.
Because I went back to the mixes, spent like a lot of hours per track. But yeah, it was. But like, it was good to chip away at it and make everything make sense because some songs were fucking like 160 stems deep. Some session like that's a lot of shit. Like 160. Drums. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Like what? Dude, I have to go through. There's big numbers. Like Survivor is like 175.
My goodness.
And that's like, some of those things are compiled into one. So it's just one. You know what I mean? Like
I know. Like all the
there's a lot of things that are. I know the drum sounds, some of the like background stuff, but. Dude, there's a lot of shit going on, and there's gang vocals and like blah blah blah. And some things are grouped, so it could have been stretched out to 200, no stress. But yeah, there's some of them that are really wild, man.
So
my computer had a real hard time.
Yeah. Okay, so this is what we're going to be talking about when we do the series. I won't go too deep in that now, then, because this is the conversations I want to have with you. But
I get some actual numbers and prepare like
data. For people, since we're talking about it, because I want to just finish this, then we can move on to the topics and stuff. But is that a normal amount of tracks that an average hip hop song would have? What would you say, as someone who's a mixing engineer who sees a lot of different projects with all the different stems? Stems are just each individual sound, like a drum, a kick drum, a snare drum, hi-hats, synth,
the whole way along the
bass line,
song.
the whole way, exactly, and vocals, every single element of the vocals. How many would you say is the average that a song would have? How many stems? Keep it in mind that one song on my album had about 200.
Fuck, man. It really depends on... There's
Okay,
so
give me a
many
range.
variables there. It's really hard. So just say, like, okay, so a beat stem section would be anywhere between, honestly, 5 or 6 to, like, 50, 40 to 50. It depends on how many parts of the song there are. If this bridge is just... there's breakdowns. But, like, some of the clients recently, like, I worked on some new stuff today, and it was about 17 to 20 stems for the beat, and he had 3 vocal stems. But then when I worked on something last week, it was like 6 or 7 beat stems and about like 20 vocal stems because there was stacked vocals for the hook and shit. So, yeah, it can be between, like, for a whole session, between 20 to 200 on it. So it really depends.
Okay.
It's all over the shop. I couldn't even, like, average it. I have to, like, get some numbers and do a mean average and see what's going on, but I couldn't even call it, bro.
Okay, yeah. Gotcha.
Like 50 to 75, just say average ballpark. I don't know. Fuck.
Okay. So that's a lot, and but 200 is still at the very, very higher end of the.
That's because there was like acoustic drums, violin, saxophone, gang vocals, singers, rappers, heaps of percussion, synth,
drums. I think
there's heaps of shit. Oh, yeah, electronic drums and acoustic drums, like all kinds of shit. Breakdowns, bridges. Yeah. Real guitar, real bass.
Yeah. Fuck, it's pretty intense, bro. So if people,
synth pads, yeah, fuck, it's wild.
So things took a while. It is what it is. We're not full-time musicians here. And that's what it takes for independent artists like us to do it. And I love it. So we'll keep fucking with that. So with that said, let's get into some topics for the Mandem. Let's start with yours because I want to talk about something that went down yesterday and continue going today as of which is kind of funny.
All right, cool. Let's fucking get into it, mate. So I got a fucking couple. Okay, so last week I talked about Jay-Z with his potential interest in the Broncos sale.
Yes.
And I saw this thing that's saying there's a Jay-Z source denies he's interested in that. So he was rumored to buy it with a bunch of cunts, but according to Complex, it's not true. He isn't looking to purchase, blah, blah, blah. That's pretty much, yeah.
So he's not copping.
So he's probably not copping. Fun news, Rick Ross gifts his son, who's 16 years old, his own Wingstop franchise. So that's absolute big boss move. What a fucking boss. What is it?
Wow.
Anyway, really cool. His son is pretty cool. Looks like he's a mad cunt. There's what's it called? What do you call it? Okay. There's a website called lalal.ai. LALAL.ai.
Okay.
Basically, it's a website that it can extract stems from any song. So you upload something, and it gives you 4 or 5 options. You can take out the drums, the vocals, the bass, the instrumentation, whatever the fuck.
Wow.
And you can do one or all, any sort of combination. So a producer that I am a fan of and have bought kits from, Decap, had put a little reel on his IG about this website. So I had a look and I was like, fuck yeah, I can't. So lalal.ai for the producers. If you find like a sample and you're just like, oh, I want those fucking horns from that joint, you can actually throw it in the thing and just get the horns. Like, honestly, stupid.
How do they do it?
There's a bunch of programs that you can do that, but they're mad expensive, super hard to use. I don't even know what the fucking names are, but there's a couple of producers that I follow on Instagram. I think it's like Tall Guy Productions uses that shit, and there's another guy who does something else. So yeah, they're kind of like sound designers, real in depth with it. So they're taking this away stems from all classics and reprising everything. So that was really interesting. I'm looking forward to fuck with that.
Cool. That's awesome.
Did you see the fucking Meek Mill Expensive Pain cover art?
No. Is it cool?
Holy shit, mate. Nah.
Oh, Meek Mill Expensive Pain.
Because like, and Twitter's like shitting on it, bro. So like, I've got to. So it's. I mean, it's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just like it's just weird for an album
This
cover.
one?
So, but Twitter has shit on it. Yep, that's it. Twitter was shitting on it, dude.
Interesting. I don't dislike it.
I don't dislike it either, but like people were shitting on it because there was like a whole slide on Hip Hop DX on Instagram about people roasting it. So I don't know. That was kind of like a bit harsh, but I don't know. It's not too bad, but people get ripping on it. Dave Chappelle's opening his own comedy club.
Okay, I saw something about that. That's interesting, eh?
So he's building his own. Yeah, he got building permits and approval from those kind of peoples to build his own comedy club in Yellow Springs, Ohio. So, and it's going to be called Live from YS and the Firehouse Eatery. So it's a comedy club and a restaurant. So Live from YS is the comedy club, and the Firehouse Eatery will be the restaurant.
I love seeing
good old moves. Uncle Dave. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, man. Says in doing it, he probably realized over the pandemic he just needs his own spot that he can just perform at home, have people come through. It'll be legendary. Yeah, good on him. And making a restaurant, I love it. I love seeing those business moves, man.
Everybody wants to eat while they watch some giggles, you know.
Fucking oath. That's awesome.
Uncle Dave.
Excuse me.
Speaking of Lil Nas X earlier, basically on there's like a post that he put up.
Okay.
He's basically shouting out all the producers and engineers on his album. There's like the credits are listed on Derek Ali from Top Dog, like Kendrick's label. He runs a thing called Engine Ears, and basically he just posted about that. He's posted. I'll show you. It's basically just the post. It's all black and white text. You can't see shit.
Oh, okay, so that's it. All right, so he did this. It came up for a sec. There you go.
So he's just listed all the recording engineers and all the and it's just like, you know, people are finally just giving more daps than for the behind the scenes guys. Yeah, it's just great to see, man. That's just I love that. No, that makes me all happy in the pants. So the last thing I had, I think it's the last thing. 50 Cent got accused of bullying the drug kingpin who filed a $1 billion lawsuit over Power. So he's being sued for $1 billion over accusation that his hit show Power is actually based on the life of a kingpin, and that so they're suing 50 and Courtney Kemp, who's a fellow Power executive, for $1 billion because Corey Ghost Holland filed a lawsuit in April that alleges that 50 and Kemp stole the concept for Power from the former drug kingpin's actual life to create the popular Stars series.
Damn.
So they say, according to All Hip Hop, Holland's relationship with Kemp's father stretches back to the 90s. The two remained in touch in 2007 when Holland allegedly mailed a CD he made for at-risk youth to Kemp's father, which included a cautionary tale about his own life as a drug dealer. So man's just trying to get paid.
$1 billion is pretty intense.
That's a lot, fam.
It's a lot of money.
It's a couple ducats.
You just reminded me.
It's nothing but Jeff Bezos, though.
Not even a drop in the ocean, mate. What didn't we talk about that happened last week? Speaking of 50 Cent. The Verzuz, Ja Rule and Fat Joe.
We didn't talk about that?
No.
Oh, shit. So let's go.
I know, what the fuck? Before I talk about the Karen Civil stuff.
Oh, my God. Did I take any photos of this? Oh, no, I didn't.
It was last...
I have notes. This is great.
Last Tuesday, I think it was, right?
Mm-hmm.
Fat Joe, Ja Rule, they rocked it, and it was pretty fucking funny. So I forgot about it. So you were telling me some stuff, and I watched the rest of it. I think I missed the first like 15 minutes or something like that. And do you want to maybe give me your thoughts? Because your thoughts already when I went into it, I thought were really accurate. Like, it really summarized Fat Joe's vibe. There would end up being some like controversy because he said some dumb shit to some people.
Yeah.
Give me your initial impression, then I'll see if I'll fill in some other stuff.
Okay. It was great, man. They came out with some crazy energy. Ja Rule's like a 20-year-old. He still looks like a 20-year-old, and he was just moving with that kind of relentless sort of shame and like uber confidence, and that like the little smirks and all the like you think that he's the shit. Like he was just really owning it. And then so he started just doing his thing. Fat Joe just started to get mad. I think he was just like he's kind of just gloating and saying he had more hits and sort of stuff.
Right.
And then, but then Ja Rule's getting the crowd was actually singing his shit, and then Ja Rule was kind of pushing back after a few times when Fat Joe was taking stabs, like you got nothing, bro. That was whack. And then he plays, and then Joe does his song, and it's just like this weak, like dark boom bap shit that doesn't get anybody singing. There's no hook. The first few songs were like really bad. Ja Rule just had everything and more. So then, as things went on, Ja Rule was just getting more cocky and fun and getting really into the crowd, had that really fun energy and is a little more playful and like playing the role and being a little cocky but fun and sportsmanlike, so to speak. So fucking Fat Joe seemed to be like the kid at the picnic that didn't get his favorite bit of fucking sausage or some shit. You know what I mean? Like, it just seemed like a sport little cunt. And he was like,
that's funny.
Constantly saying that, he had no hits, and then he's had nothing to reply.
Right.
So when Ja Rule was saying, like, the crowd's singing my shit, they ain't singing your shit, what the fuck, bro? Like, relax. Like, and Fat Joe just started to get more sore loser as everything went on. And then he just started to look, I don't know, he was just like talking panicked. A little more crazy. Kind of, yeah. And I think he took it a little too serious. Yeah, he's weird. He's got like that Forrest Whitaker lazy left kind of thing going on now. And he was just kind of like, I think he was acting a bit too much. I think Fat Joe needs to relax. It's not that serious. He obviously knows what fucking Ja Rule's catalog is, but he was still fronting like on that New York relentless confidence. I'm the fucking alpha. I'm the fucking best cunt. Fat Joe would not let it go. He just couldn't. It just seemed like the sport brat next door neighbor. Like, I don't know, man. Just
that's a good summary, because you told me kind of that, and then I went and watched it, and I saw exactly that, and I just saw it get worse and worse over the time. You made a good point as well. I noticed he was responding to like hits, commercial radio hits with like shit that I love,
shit.
like random songs off like Don Cartagena album stuff.
Yeah.
I'm like, I fucking love that shit, but that's not what you respond to a Ja Rule fucking song with, bro. Like, no. It doesn't work like that.
And all of Fat Joe's songs that are actual fire have Ashanti on it or like features, and they're both shared by. That's why she came out at the one time, did the songs, boom, boom, she pieced out.
Yeah.
But like the first, few songs, Fat Joe had to bring people out to even compete. Ja Rule's holding it the fuck down by himself. He's singing his tits off. Did a good job. He's honestly a really good writer, and he was, he showcased some of the songs that he just wrote, and I didn't know he wrote "Pain" for Tupac. That's honestly ridiculous. That's what he was.
Fat Joe wrote because Ja Rule wrote he did like a remix of it or whatever.
It was a remix. Oh, that's what it did. Yeah, sorry.
And it was the same. It was Tupac's verse, but he did changed it up, kind of like what we used to do on the mixtape.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, I noticed that. So they brought out Ashanti, they brought out Nelly, and it was interesting because Nelly and Ashanti were together.
Nelly sounded fucked, by the way. He sounded like he had the vid, mate.
Yeah, and he wasn't. He was just like yelling. He sounded like he was like really crazy.
He was mad.
Did you know?
Lower. When he's
way lower.
Like,
go
gracious ass bulldozers. But then he was like, go gracious ass bulldozers.
And it sounded so weird.
It was like, oh goodness me, scary cunt. Shut up.
It was that fucking threw me off so hard. And then
I love him though.
No, he's dope.
He didn't sound too like he's been like out drinking all night, yelling at cunts.
Or he just lost it or something. Or he just got too old. Maybe that was like his older thing.
Maybe
but did you know him and Ashanti were together for like 11 years?
What?
Yeah. So they hadn't seen each other for 6 years. So they got together like in like 2004 or something like that.
Truth.
For that to add up, I think, if you add up those numbers. So that was the first time, and when he was on stage, he walked straight across and hugged her. And they were talking about that. People were trying to see if they were going to get back together. So that was interesting. They had Remy Ma there, which was gangster because she came and did Lean Back. They had Vida and Lil Mo.
That was dope.
And apparently Joe said, "Oh, you had to bring out those dusty bitches," and something about
that's right,
doing crack, called them a crackhead, and then he had to apologize to those two girls specifically, Vida and Lil Mo, which was super cool. Not really cool at all. So he did like these half-assed apologies and shit. So he kind of made him look bad. And I saw a whole bunch of people online saying, "Fat Joe, stop saying the N-word," because obviously he's
Latino.
Puerto Rican though.
Puerto Rican. Sorry, wow.
So like, because Deezus and Mero says the N-word constantly, and he's Dominican, and Dominicans are essentially what is like Afro-Latin. So Afro-Latin mean, I guess their ancestry includes people from Africa. So it's kind of a mix of African ancestry and Latin or Hispanic ancestry. So hence the Afro-Latino, whatever the fuck. So that, him saying it, still weird to me, but I get it. But him being Mero, but then when Fat Joe says it, like his complexion is the same as ours, if not lighter. Like it's
like doesn't Hezekiah say Fat Joe can say it, but J-Lo can't? Doesn't Hezekiah?
I wouldn't be surprised. Fuck, shouts to Hezekiah. I love that guy.
Yeah, I swear he got by like that. Yeah.
But why can't J-Lo sing? Because like she's Puerto Rican too, if I'm not mistaken. So why can't she sing? Because Puerto Rico.
Because she's popping whatever.
So it's like, I don't know. It's just
maybe it's because she's a female and cunts are fucked. Because that's how the world is.
I imagine I've seen a lot of people say like they've taken it out of their vocabulary, like people of color say, black folks saying that, like they try not to say it no more than when you see someone like Fat Joe who doesn't even physically look black. To be able to say that is kind of weird. So. Anyway, it was an interesting battle. Ja Rule, and at the end they were saying we love like hugging. They were saying we love each other. I think what happened though is that they saw what the Dipset and Lox one was like, and they had that playful banter, and then Fat Joe tried that, and it didn't work well. And it was almost like because it's like Fat Joe was Dips, like they just didn't have the hits to keep up, I guess, and the Lox had so much more up their sleeve. Fat Joe couldn't keep up with Ja, so then. He just kind of looked crazy for saying that. So anyway, whatever. It was entertaining as fuck. Sure. Bunch of memes. A lot of people talking. Kept us busy, so I ain't mad. The fucking vibes.
Can't be mad at that.
So that shit was cool. But the other stuff I wanted to talk about that happened yesterday, being Saturday, was Karen Civil. So do you know who she is?
No, I don't.
All right.
But I did see the tweet from Joyner Lucas. So
okay. So I'll try and summarize it the best I can.
Let's do this.
So she started in the game as like she's sort of like she's like a personality, but she started as like a marketer, like a social media person. So she was doing social. She was like she got in with Dipset with Cam. She was doing stuff I think for J. Cole, for Sky Zoo, for like a lot of sort of like underground rappers that were coming up, and she sort of made her name like that, and then she's expanded, and she sort of went down. So then like doing PR as well, sort of like social and PR. She knew all the bloggers and stuff, and she was like a connector, connecting people and really helping people with their careers. So Cameron said years ago, and actually, you know what, even before that, Tiff always really liked her. So one time for Christmas, we're not big on gifts. Like as in like we just buy what we need all the time, so we just sort of stopped doing gifts. But one Christmas I was like, Karen Civil released a book. I'm like, let me get Tiff the book from Karen Civil. Ordered it. We joke, we call it a pamphlet. The book was like 20 pages long. And I was like, are you fucking serious? And it was like $20 or $30 for this fucking pamphlet. And I was like, this bitch just ripped us off. Are you fucking... And Tiff was like, what is this? So I was like, okay.
Sorry to laugh, but that's pretty funny.
No, it was pretty whack. No? And I read it. Like, I read it too.
Right.
It was 20 pages of like really big font. So it was like, it wasn't even, there was no guts to it. It was poorly written. There was spelling mistakes, grammar mistakes. I was like, this is whack.
Come on.
So
come on.
Then Cameron was saying that she stole $60,000 from his boy through Dipset, and she admitted it and said, I had to eat. And that was it. And no one really chased her down for it. They're all good for money, I guess. I'm not sure if this dude, I forgot his name, was someone the God, Duke the God or something like that. And it was, so she was a known thief. at that point as well. Everyone, when he was saying that, they all said to him, "You hate black women. Stop hating on black women." He's like, "I am just saying, this is what happened." So then this other girl who, funnily enough, one of our clients, we actually worked with her. Like, I spoke to her. She was nice, but she's extra. Her name's Jessie Woo, W-O-O, but she's Haitian. She's from here. She's from Montreal, actually. But she lives in the States. She's like, I don't know what she's like a singer and kind of like a social media personality type of person. You know, like you don't really know what they do, but she's just around a bit. So I don't like follow her or anything because she's always so like extra, and I don't really enjoy what she does. But she put this stuff out about Curren Civil yesterday, and they were all on Clubhouse, and like it was this whole thing. It's either yesterday, Saturday, or Friday. So Curren Civil had a podcast on Joe Budden's network called Girl, I Guess. And I think one of the girls left. There was a whole bunch of drama and stuff around that I don't even really know enough about. I didn't pay attention. So what she did to Jessie Woo, there was some sort of deal with the podcast or something that kind of went wrong. So Curren booked Jessie from a fake company, set up a fake company, or at least all the different things for it, booked her for a gig to get her to come to a gig, and so she could get all of her personal information so she could sue her. No, she had the same name as a podcast or something. Like Jessie had her own podcast that had a similar name, and Curren wanted to sue her. And the way the American system works, you need all the info. So she made a fake company, a shell company, to get her to book. So when you book someone to pay them, you get all their information, like name, address, and probably banking info and all that bullshit, right? Booked her.
Oh my god.
Came to the thing with all the cameras and everything for whatever this gig was. A gig meaning like a speaking thing or an interview or something like that. And then they had all the cameras and they served her for court so they could film her reaction. Wow. They wanted to like embarrass her. Jessie obviously countersued. Jessie won the court case, and she put out the papers that she won the court case. That this woman made a shell company and did this stuff to get her information and wasn't above board. I think she might have actually stolen some money from her or whatever. So Jessie said I've been waiting to put this out. As soon as Jessie put it out, Joyner Lucas put a whole bunch of stuff because I've been waiting 7 years for this shit. And he had all the receipts fucking ready to go. So Joyner Lucas was an up-and-coming rapper, I guess 7 years ago. He had an investor who he said put like $1 million into his career, and his final 60 grand, he paid Curren Civil for consulting services. They had and I guess it was PR, amongst other things. And like, all right, you need to do this. You should do this. Because apparently she consulted with Bobby Shmurda and told him to release his new single on the same day that Donda was released, which is everyone saying like, look at her, she's a scammer. She told him to release his comeback single on the day that the biggest album of the year arguably was released, and no one even really knew that it happened. So they think she's giving bad advice to people and stuff. So Joyner paid her $60K. She had all this stuff. She was hyping him up and knew that he was the up and coming, and that, $60K, and she was supposed to pay other people for different things and disperse the money or whatever. He said as soon as he paid her, disappeared. Like, couldn't get hold of her. And then he saw a post on Instagram that she was in, like, he said when she was on vacation with my money, is what he was saying. So she took that and she was doing all these, like, shady things, like, oh, wow, artists think they have 24/7 access to you or something like that, and blah, blah, blah. And he was sort of talking to her. She was sort of, like, being all defensive and trying to spin it around on him as if he was the one who was, like, annoying her or whatever, not giving her the money, whatever. So there was a whole bunch of other stuff with that. Then they all went on Clubhouse and they were actually speaking about it. Curren admitted to all of that, and that she admitted to, what's going on? I can hear that shit. Then she admitted to doing something else. She admitted to stealing from someone else as well. Fuck, who was it? Oh man, it's gonna kill me now. But she admitted to that she stole something from somebody else. So not only did she fuck Jessie over, she fucked Joyner over for that $60K. She fucked over Cameron's dude for $60K as well. I don't know what's with the $60K. And then another guy that she also admitted that she just took the money from and didn't do what she said she was going to do. So basically, this woman is some sort of a culture vulture who's like
scam
just a scammer. And it kind of like, it comes all back to the conversation we were having earlier about the relentless and putting it out. Like, you don't know who to trust.
Saying shit. Fuck that.
Yeah, man. Like,
damn self, bro.
Well, that's what I've been trying to do with this thing, and it's just the whole game just feels rigged. I mean, obviously, Joyner just made good music. I was talking to Tiff about. I'm like, what do we even do? We don't know who to trust. I don't have 60K to give to somebody for that type of thing. We know how to run ads to kind of tap into it, but what's the end result of doing that? Does that really convert people to following you on Spotify or checking out the YouTube video, hitting subscribe? Are we converting in that way? But like, you just don't know who to trust. Everything's fucking rigged. All the editorial playlists, you don't get them because they're all owned by the label, so they only put the label fucking artists on there and shit. It's just a real shame to hear that, and obviously we all know it. Other people were coming out and sharing their stories. Oh, that was the other thing. Joyner said that Skyzoo said she's solid as fuck, bro. She's the one. You need to talk to her. So obviously Joyner had been getting some traction to be able to even talk to Skyzoo about hiring someone like her and stuff. So he's in that world. So he was kind of pissed at Skyzoo because he co-signed her, but maybe she didn't fuck him. Obviously she didn't fuck everyone.
Maybe she didn't. Yeah.
But she, so. It's just really disheartening, I guess, as someone who's about to release the biggest album of my musical, I hate the word career, but like time doing this stuff. And, now I just feel like it's like a little bit jaded. Like, I feel like all you can do is just put out good shit and just hope that like people spread the word about the good shit because they really like the good shit. And like, fuck, this is really dope. I'm a tweet about it. I'm a post about it. I'm a share. I'm gonna tell my friends about it. Like, whatever.
That's all we really ask for. That's all. Each one teach one or tell one.
Yeah, basically. So yeah, it's pretty crazy. I think I probably missed a bunch. If anyone has anything that I forgot that was key, just drop it in the comments there. Like, that'd be great to see what I missed.
Fucking boom.
Yeah, man. So she can eat a fat one. With that said, I hope you got your dingers.
Dingers. Oh.
They came through with the. With the fucking dingers, because maybe you're gonna have a good night and
the fucking vibes.
Hey.
There you go. So I got it in, slipped it in there real quick.
Fair enough. I'll figure it out. Give me a second.
All right, no worries, mate. With that said, is there anything else? We're an hour and 7 minutes now, just about.
Oh shit.
I feel like you can slip it in. I feel like you can slip it in your exit.
All right, mate. Well, I was just before we go, I was just wondering if I could scab a Durry.
Hey, there you go. Yeah, no, or I only smoke Marlboro Reds and fucking.
Well, lucky I got a spliff, eh? Like.
Oh, so you're right. Yeah, no, I'll fucking
Good for
get you,
me,
mate.
hell,
Yeah, fucking no, I just need a Durry, can't you know? Like, boy.
You what?
Oh, actually, you know what? Do you know what they say about you?
You got nothing but fucking ciggy butts up there now. You got a ciggy butt brain.
Ciggies all day. What did you say?
All day, just
all day, all
watching
night, ciggies. Dickhead.
So fucking typical of you though, eh?
Such a cunt, bro.
You know the vibes. Where can everyone find you online, you cockhead?
Just choking down Durries. At Notion Baby on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. At Illnote Studios on Instagram and Facebook. illnotestudios.com. Notionbeats.com. Fucking get at you, mate. Boy. And shit and stuff. What about you, mate?
Mate, you can get me at CWEFOR on Instagram and Twitter, and then we're going to take a thumbnail. And, mate, thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed the episode, smash the thumbs up. Hit subscribe below. Hit the notification bell.
Dang.
That was good. That was good. So you know when the new drops. Follow us on social media at The Movement Fam. We are back. This week we'll be on time. I think last week we weren't because I was away. We'll be back, 8 p.m. Monday. It'll be streaming audio and the video. I think we'll be back on time for the foreseeable future. At least I have no plans to go anywhere for a bit. So
I'm happy about that.
Yep, we'll keep it going. Dan, safe travels, mate. And hopefully we'll have you back in the next couple of weeks. We'll let you know. We'll keep you guys posted. Get a cock up, yeah. We'll see you next episode.
Bless your cotton socks. Peace, cunts. Hey. Fucking boom.
This is fun.
Yeah. I say catch a cunt.